What's going on, everybody? Hopefully you all are doing awesome today. I wanted to share some thoughts with you all about a theme that I see among so many homeschool families. My name is Noble. We've been homeschooling for 7 years now. Our kid just finished foundations, 7 years of foundations, 3 years of essentials, and is moving into Challenge A, which is for the CC folks, is 7th grade. And we've been homeschooling the whole time for 7 years now, and we absolutely love it. Here's the deal. So I've been an admin for a long time on this Facebook group, in the Classical Conversations Facebook group, a number of different Classical Conversations Facebook groups and homeschooling groups and stuff. And here's a consistent theme with so many families, man. It's crazy. But so many families are, and moms and dads, and maybe you, are you feeling stressed? Are you overwhelmed? Wondering if you've got what it takes. Am I doing the right thing? You're getting pushback from, maybe your spouse, your kids, the grandparents, the parents, the neighbors. Your pets are like, please put the kids in school. Are you getting pushback at every corner? You're facing opposition. You're doubting, the self-doubt. Am I screwing up my kids? Am I doing the right thing? What on earth would possess me to do something different than the rest of society? All these different things, these emotions and feelings. And what's crazy is it is a pandemic? I don't know if that's the right word. It's like an epidemic. It's crazy. Self-doubt. And listen, I struggle with self-doubt. I was doubting doing this video. So I can relate, but I've got my tacos and jiu-jitsu shirt on, baby. What? Okay, so here's the thing is, so I understand, I totally understand the emotion, the being overwhelmed, and man, am I doing the right thing? I want to share some thoughts with you all that I pray will encourage you. If you feel like this is impactful, please tag your friends, share it, because one of my passions is to encourage other people, other families. And it's just, so I want to share it. I've got my notes here. So if you see me looking away, I'm going to my notes. So a couple thoughts. So here's the deal. Maybe CC is for you. Maybe it's not, right? I see all this stuff. Well, there's so many passionate people about CC, and it's not the only way. CC is not the only way. Listen, if you don't dig CC, then don't do it. It's like no one's forcing you. It's totally cool. You know what I mean? It's totally cool. If you want to try out some other homeschooling program, rock that. For my awesome wife and I and our kid, we totally love CC. But here's the deal. Nowhere does CC ever say that CC is the parent. CC is like, no, you're the parent. You teach your kids. CC has never claimed to be the parent. Just do you. If God, but here's my thing though. So this isn't about CC. It's about homeschooling. If God has called you to homeschool, then God has given you the ability to homeschool, to do it, right? I'm going to share some thoughts here. But here's the deal. Maybe you can't do it. Now, that sounds like crazy, right? But so is God setting you up for failure? Well, no, I don't think God sets us up for failure. But here's just from the basic instructions before we learn from the Bible. How about Moses? When God dialed up Moses on the old iPhone 7 or whatever, you know what I'm saying? iPhone A or B he was on. Moses, I want you to lead the children of Israel out of captivity. Moses was like, hey, God, you're coming in broken and distorted. I've got one bar, God. I'm in the middle of the desert, bro, and I am not picking you up right now. I am not smelling the pita bread that you are cooking right now, God, right? So even big Moses, he went to Israeli High, and still Israeli High let him down because Moses doubted his own ability to trust and obey God, even though it was coming directly from God. Like literally the 411, whatever, was coming straight from God himself to Moses. So but here's the thing, what I'm telling you is that maybe God is using homeschooling as your getting the Israelites out of captivity. Maybe it's a tool that God is using to get you to depend on him more. Not on society more, not on your spouse, not on your neighbors or your parents or some dude or lady with 3-4 PhDs. No, bump all that stuff. Is God calling you to homeschool? Then for me, don't doubt in the dark what God has shown you in the light. Don't doubt in the dark what God has shown you in the light. Maybe God is using homeschooling as a vehicle, as a tool to help you depend on him and trust in him even further. Okay, listen. Oh man, and so Moses wasn't the only guy. Look at the issues David had with big Solomon. Maybe how about Joshua, big Joshua, or Gideon? Are you kidding me? Gideon was like the typical homeschool parent. Like, hey God, whoa, hey, I know you're calling me to homeschool, but are you sure? Like, let me put a can of Campbell's soup out, and if you cook it for me, then it'll be legit. Well, and boom, the angel of the Lord, boom, cooked up the Campbell soup for him. Okay, well, but God, maybe he threw out 5 fleeces. Gideon, 5 fleeces to get confirmation that he was supposed to homeschool. You know what I'm saying? So let's go back to God's word. What is God's word? How does God help out his other leaders when they doubt? How does God encourage other leaders in his word when they doubt, when they struggle, when we stumble, when we fall, when we mess up, when we fail? How does God encourage his leaders? Okay, so that's something to think about. This is another thing too. Listen, raising children is a battle. And I'm not even talking about a battle with the hormones, a battle with, doing math. I don't know if you see some of my previous posts, just search my name in the thing and you will see math, where I have some opportunities. Math is bringing us closer to Jesus right now. I will tell you that. So, but listen, the enemy wants to get into our ability and mindset and heart at raising our kids. If I was Satan, listen, you want to know who I'd go after? Is homeschooling parents. I'm not even joking. I'm a military guy. My background is the military. I was in the 82nd Airborne Division infantry officer. If I was an enemy and I'm going after it and I'm mad at God and I want to just screw up God's plans or try and just mess up, I'm going after homeschool families. I'm going after parents and I'm going after kids. I want to come. What is it? John 10:10. I have come. The enemy has come to steal, kill, and destroy. Listen. This is a spiritual battle. Ephesians 6:10 through 20. I've got it pulled up here. Ephesians 6:10 through 20. You guys know it. Finally, be strong in the Lord and in his might. Put on the whole armor of God so that you may be able to stand against the schemes of the devil. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood. Right? So this is a battle, y'all. We are in a battle. This is not like tiptoeing through the tulips and you know what I mean? Eating Skittles all day, right? And riding, rainbow colored unicorns or something like that. This is no joke. So Matthew chapter 5, 11 to 13. He promises you will be persecuted. We will be persecuted in this journey of following the Lord. That's another one. So what happens when you face opposition in your faith? Right? When someone, like do any kind of search, of anything Christian. Like, you want to talk about adversity? Be a Christian in 2019. Love Jesus in 2019, and listen, you will sign up for all kinds of adversity. And here's the thing: stay in this Facebook group long enough among Christians. All kinds of adversity, right? We are humans are amazing at creating adversity for each other, right? And so we're fallen, right? I get it. We're all imperfect. We all have our things, right? But we will face adversity in this journey of pursuing the Lord. So I just want to encourage you to not have an expectation that homeschooling your kids, however long you're going to homeschool, it is just going to be frolicking through, you know what I'm saying? Manicures and pedicures and massages all day. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be no joke. It's gonna be a battle, right? He promises it. But here's the thing: Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all our heart. Lean not on our own understanding. In all our ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct our paths. Not noble, not, yes, I'm the leader of my house and that kind of thing, but man, that's a huge responsibility. Well, I want to say it's Colossians 1. Thank God that, okay, I may be the head of the household, but Christ is the head of me. So I've got to make it my goal, mission. Okay, well, society is saying, homeschoolers are crazy, or there's no socialism, or socialism. Well, I won't get into politics. No socialization. Right? All these different things that we hear from society. Listen, I don't care if I am the last Christian on earth, and obviously there's going to be a lot of us. There are a lot of us. But hey, they start cutting off limbs or whatever. Like, I'm like, whatever God calls me to do, you know what I'm saying? In terms of like, if I die because of my faith, I'm willing to die for my faith. Because of my relationship with Jesus Christ, I'm willing to die for my faith. So just, you know, and in that journey, in our journey, in your journey with the Lord too, thank God that He doesn't leave us when we doubt Him. He's setting an example for us of what we should do for our kids and for those around us. That when we doubt God, God still loves us. Well, when our kids doubt us, when our spouse doubts us, when our parents doubt us, when our neighbors doubt us, when society doubts us, do we still love them anyway? Man, and of course I know I don't, because of how much I fail, and I want to and need to, but God is, you know, sets an example for us that we can do this, that of what right looks like for us. So I just want to encourage you guys that if God has called you to this, then you got this. And maybe you do need to take some time off. Maybe you need to take a semester off, a year off, whatever. But whatever you do, I guess I would encourage you to use homeschooling and realize that allow God to use homeschooling as a vehicle for us, for you to depend on Him even more amidst the doubts and the society and the spouse and all these other things. Now, I want to share some verses with you guys very quickly here. So maybe you want to grab a paper and pen real quick to jot down some verses. Matthew 11, 28 and to 30. Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. If we feel all this burden for in this homeschooling journey, I feel like we're probably maybe we don't have the proper perspective. Maybe we don't have that eternal perspective, because right here, God says, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Right? So I want to make sure I approach homeschooling from God's perspective, not from my perspective. Another one, Matthew chapter 6, 25 to 34. Therefore I say to you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or what you will drink, nor about your body, what you will put on. Is not life more than food and the body more than clothing? Look at the birds of the air, and he goes on and on. Right? So do not worry about, the homeschooling, all that stuff. How is worrying helping you? How is it helping you? How is it helping your kids? How is it helping your spouse? How is it helping your environment? How is it helping you? Right? So, Matthew 6:25-34, God tells us, do not worry. I got this. God's got this. I in and of myself, man, I have so many weaknesses. I have so many failures and shortcomings. All of you would be like, dude, you'd never listen to another word I said. Right? And I just thank God that in spite of all my failures, that God is enough. That with God, I thank God. And listen, here's the thing too. The amount of time with my family, you can have your PhDs, you can have your Harvard grad students, you could have your Princeton. I don't care. I want time with my family. I don't care what my kid scores on the ACT and SAT and whatever the other things are. I want to spend time. I tell my kid every day, Elena, amor, I call her amor. I love you and I like you. And I said, amor, I love spending time with you. And I do. She's 11. Man, I love spending time with my kid. There's no way I would send her to another school. God will take care. She's a smart kid. Like, I'm not sweating how she does in math and science and physics. And I want her to love Jesus. I want her to have a relationship with her parents. I want her to know God's word. I want her to know how to think. I don't care how she scores on some state exams or some college or university. Her grades don't define her. What college she gets into or doesn't get into doesn't define her. Her career doesn't define her. Her relationship with the Lord, I want her to know who she is and whose she is. I don't care about any of the grade stuff. That's how anyway, I'm getting all. So, okay, Galatians 6:9. Let us not grow weary of doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Galatians 6:9. That's a great one. Hebrews 10:23-25. And let us hold fast to the confession of hope without wavering. Without wavering. For he who promised is faithful. And let us consider how to stir up one another. To what? To love and good works. Not neglecting meeting together. That's one of the reasons why I love CC and the practicum and the weekly community days and that kind of stuff. Not neglecting to meet together as is the habit of some, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching. Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it. Ephesians, we already talked about Ephesians. Hebrews 12:1-2. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which so easily ensnares us, and let us run with endurance the race set out for us, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. Proverbs 3:5-6. We already talked about that one. James chapter 1, that first chapter, 2-12 really. John 15:1-7, I believe. right? So abiding in him, right? John 15:1 is the whole of vine and abiding him. But anyway, I just want to encourage you all. I feel like there's no greater thing to do than to raise our kids. Like, that's kingdom work. That's eternal work, is investing into our kids, investing into our families, investing into our children. You better believe it's going to be tough. You better believe you're going to face adversity. You better believe it's a fight. That's why we've got to undergird ourselves. We've got to encourage ourselves, not fight with each other, not bicker and make mountains out of mouse turds, but like encourage each other, uplift each other. We have enough fighting with the outside world. We don't need to be doing that in our families and among families and among, in communities and all this stuff. We need to be encouraging each other and uplifting each other and praying for each other and loving each other, because this is already, it's already, challenging enough as it is. So anyway, I just want you to know that if God's called you to it, he will get you through it. If God has called you to it, he will get you through it. If this encouraged you, please share it. Please tag people. Man, my passion is that you would trust God in this journey of homeschooling. Your kids are worth it. Your family legacy is worth it. God's will for your life is worth it. The work that God has called us to do with our family is worth it. You are worth it. He loves you. And listen, I'm praying for you guys. My heart goes out to you guys. I love you guys. Praying for you all. You absolutely can do this. It's going to be tough times, but you can absolutely do this. With God, all things are possible. Love you all. God bless you.